Okay, who are you? Pokemon Winds and Waves, a brand new video game that's going to be releasing in a whole year from now, but who am I to deny a brand new trailer, brand new starter Pokemon, and brand new protagonist designs? So let's go in and talk about them, starting with the designs. And there are going to be two different designs based on the game, sorta similar to what we saw with Scarlet and Violet, though it isn't anything too big. These are just the default looks. Hopefully you'll be able to customize things later on. But in Pokemon Winds, you will have a white backpack, gloves, and hat that is styled a little more like an Outback hat, a cowboy hat. There's a brim all around the hat. Meanwhile, in Pokemon Waves, the backpack, gloves, and hat are going to be blue, and they're more of a standard cap design. Overall, they both look very active. Seemingly there's a wetsuit underneath their clothing, which would make sense if we're going to be able to go underwater at some point during the game, but over top they just have basic shorts and a shirt, but I think it does work out pretty well. I think they both look pretty good depending on which style they're wearing, because really there isn't too much of a difference aside from the style of hat and a few colors here and there. Generally what's on their body stays the same, so I think that makes it better than the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet designs. Also, weird little thing that I noticed, the Winds characters actually have 2 extra fingers on their gloves, or at least, they're not completely fingerless, which I'm not really sure what to make of it, but I will also say that, fun thing, the colors of their hats are actually the same colors used in the Sky Trainers designs. Now, I don't think we're getting Sky Battles back or anything, but I think that is a fun way to relate it to the Winds and help it stand out from the Waves. Oh wait, shoot, also they got a little thing on their backpack strap as well. I have no idea what function those could serve, maybe a phone holder or something, and they got an extra pouch on the strap going around their waist as well. Man, what's going on here? Why are there just like tiny little differences like that? I don't think this is going to tie into too much of a mechanical difference. For sure, we'll be able to explore both the Winds and the Waves depending on the game, I would hope, but very curious. But it does make me wonder what is the main story difference between the two. Again, over in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, the types of uniforms determine the name of the school, which also in turn related to the professor of the game as well as the Paradox Pokemon available in it. So maybe that's some sort of indication that later down the line there will be some bigger difference in mechanics between these games. Maybe not necessarily in gameplay, but more so in story. Anyway, the last thing I do want to talk about is the weird little device that they both seem to have. It's shown as being mounted on their backpack, and I didn't know what to make of it then, but now seeing the official 2D art and seeing that one of the trainers is holding it similar to a skateboard makes me think that maybe this is a hoverboard. Pokemon obviously is a futuristic sci-fi world, so that's something that isn't out of the realm of possibility, and given the fact that when you look at the gameplay you can see that the ends of it have a fan, but overall when you think about theming and again mechanics, a hoverboard like this would allow the player character to ride both the Winds and the Waves. We'll have to see it in action, and definitely I've seen some fan art here and there depicting it as a hoverboard, but that would be really nice to call back to the scrap mechanic of a skateboard in Generation 2. But when you look at the gameplay, we got to see some of the environment around the starting area, and the starting area itself is very interesting. A giant futuristic building that I assume is some kind of resort. I say that because a lot of the huts are built like resorts you would see like this in real life, and also from the opening cinematic it kind of plays out that way from the perspective of someone who has been to other regions and has now come to whatever this region's name is. Also, there's a fact that Mr. Windychew and Miss Wavychew are very clearly tourists, so I assume that's basically what your protagonist is meant to be. Even more hints that this starting area is meant to be a resort are like the sign you see in the background of one screenshot, one of the outdoor areas you would see in another meant for like studying or getting some work done, and just the general feel of things. That really big futuristic looking building I don't think is meant to be a research center or anything, probably mostly recreation, but when it comes to what the actual protagonist is going to be doing, I assume maybe they're recruited at this point by some sort of professor, who we obviously haven't seen yet, though I assume that if we're not getting 2 professors again, we'll have a single professor with different interests based on the game you're getting, whether that be Winds or Waves. Really though, I think that is about all I got in terms of trying to piece together some sort of story or plan of who these characters are, what they're doing here, and how they'll be going about their adventure in Pokemon Winds and Waves. Obviously we've got a lot of time until we get those answers. I for one am happy that they're taking their time, but I'm very interested to see what they release information about within the next year. So let me know what you think in the comments below. What are your theories? Also remember to leave a like, subscribe, hype the video, that one's a cool one as well. But anyway, for the moment I should get back to doing my own research before we begin yet another Pokemon adventure. Thank you to every channel member for your continued support, including the Great Gators, Supernormal Paranatural, XX Creepy Raw XX, JBOTW23, Paolo Stolben, IRL Lugosi, Miranda Ray, Star Shooter, Alex Switch Shiny Hunts, Koi Koi 13, Cemetery Hill, Cheese It 62, Gator Kid 509, TF, Mathaclog 947, Taijirai, Phantom, and Quago. If you would like to support, see your name here, get access to the brand new emotes for comments and live streams, as well as early videos, our Discord server, and member exclusive videos, you can become a channel member today. You can also follow me on Twitter and Blue Sky as well for more memes. Anyway, this is Gatorex, and I will catch you all later.
Experience the Paldea region on the back of a legendary Pokémon. Ride, swim, and glide with them in Pokémon Scarlet and Pokémon Violet. It's your world your way. Rated everyone.